Hello, welcome to this show, You and I, Heartfelt Marriages. My name is Francis Katende, and this is my beautiful, lovely wife.
Joy Katende.
Me and Joy have been married for the past 5 years, and we've had a beautiful life together, and our son is Adonai Katende. With us in the studio today, we have one beautiful couple. I'm going to ask them to introduce themselves to us.
I am Wilberforce Muyomba.
And I'm Irene Muyomba.
We've been married for the last 12 years, and together the Lord has blessed us with 3 children.
I'm getting there to 3 children very soon. Anyways, as the leadership of Gaba Community Church, the marrieds, we felt like we should come up with a show that can address the different issues that the marrieds are going through, especially in this time of COVID-19. We know that it is really, really very hard to fellowship as the marrieds. So this is going to be a show that is going to be appearing 2 times every month, and we hope all our married people are going to enjoy this show. So today on the show, we are going to be talking about intimacy. Intimacy is a very important thing. Actually, Mr. Muyomba and Mrs. Muyomba, the first time I heard the word, or even when you go on the internet, when you search, it brings things about sex. Is that the true definition of intimacy?
Well, intimacy is not sex. Intimacy is the feeling that you have deeply understood by your partner, or you're known by your partner, and also knowing your partner. So it is either way, knowing your partner and your partner knowing you. Being vulnerable to each other, loving and caring for each other. Yeah, my wife.
Yeah, it's a state where you feel comfortable with this person, that you're not afraid of anything before them. Actually, Cambridge Dictionary defines it as a state of having a close personal relationship with your partner. It's so close that before this person, whatever you are, they know. Whatever they are, you know. Actually, the Bible, in Genesis chapter 2, verses 24, it defines it, or it talks about it as the 2 shall become one flesh.
So it means it's not all about the sex. Okay? It's not all about the sex as I was thinking it's sex. Okay,
the sex part of it is there, true, but it's more than that. There are so many things that define intimacy, as we are going to look at in this talk show today.
Wow, what a lovely description of intimacy. So, Mr. and Mrs. Muyomba, can you please describe to us, are there any types of intimacy? Are there any things that describe intimacy, but in particular types and differences? Are there any types that you can tell us about, that people can deeply understand what it really is, according to those specific types?
Yes, there are several, but we picked a few that we are going to share with us. But one of them is intellectual intimacy. This is a point where you share with your partner your ideas, your plans. So you sit together as mates, and you discuss on the round table, and then you discuss your ideas and your plans without any fear, without any reservation, you are open. You are one. Yes. Then.
Yes, with intellectual intimacy, you can debate, you can argue without your partner taking things personally. Yes.
I sometimes take things personal, I'll admit on that one. You can proceed.
You can, things like politics, you can have your divergent views. You share, and each of you defends or disagrees according to what you're talking about. But you still love each other, you keep your vibe, you deep inside, yes, that thing, that intimacy, you're still close and you love this person so much that you can actually separate the divergent views from your love for this person.
I don't think me and Joy, when we argue with one another, we end up, I don't know, parting ways. So, anyways,
Yeah.
you can continue with another
Yeah,
type.
there is another one also is emotional intimacy. That is where the two of you discuss about the feelings of each other. That is real deep, getting to know how you're feeling, your partner getting to know how you're feeling, and also understanding how your partner is feeling. So you communicate through feelings, and when my friend is like this, when my wife is like this, then you know that it's like this, then I need to handle it in this way. So it is much deeper, okay? It's emotional and feelings that you're handling. You want to add something on that?
Yes, with the emotions, you feel as though you see the soul of your partner, as in you feel like you can see into their inside, and they can also see into. They can guess what you're thinking. They can probably guess what you like because you've been so close that your hearts are connected so much that this person, I mean, there's no, you're one. There's no social distance.
So you mean for the past 12 years you've been married to Mr. Myomba, do you know, like, everything? Like, everything?
Honestly,
Yes.
yeah.
Soul
There's-
to soul, like
like-
heart to heart.
Yeah, like
Wow.
I really know. I can see that now. This is not good, or this is good. I can guess. Yeah, but it came after time. It's not something you jump into or you dive into. No, it takes time to grow. You invest in it, and you engage in activities that help you to become close to this person this much, such that you can actually think what they think once in a while.
Do we have other types of intimacy, probably? Maybe like two?
Yeah, we have a creative one where both of you enjoy life together. You can do certain activities together. Yes, you can play together, but also that aside, you can write notes and leave a cheat, and I mean some way of communicating and sharing your feelings about your life and then with your partner. Here's something you want to add on that.
It's the one way that quickly stimulates the intimacy. If you've not been there and you want to, for example, it's like an additive. You can do what you know your partner likes, or what turns them on, or what makes them feel flattered. Yes, like he said, writing a cheat, you can maybe sing a song if you're a musician. You can write a poem.
Joy is a musician.
I don't see.
She doesn't sing for me, like, probably.
Maybe she will.
Yeah, you need to start singing for me some of those love songs.
Yeah, you do something that you know works for them, okay? If for example, they are, if they are church people, of course, you know, you can talk about something for the church. If it's something of the garden, yes, like my husband, he loves the farm work. I know I would do something nice from the farm. I'll get for him something nice. If it's natural, I know he will love it. I can get it for him.
But also we have other two that we're going to share about. One being physical intimacy. This is a little bit critical in
That
marriage.
one, no, I like that
You
one.
like
now.
that, the
Yeah,
physical?
I like that one, the physical one.
The physical here, we're talking about the hugging, the touching, and with massaging. You connect to each other. That you hold hands when you're walking.
Do you two guys like massage each other? And I'm joking.
Of course, you're not joking. We do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but we have children, so we have to be careful how far we do that. Yeah, we have to. Yeah, some
Because
things we do in the
they
private.
make copy.
They can play. You
and
don't want them to play
paste.
mommy and daddy. So but we hug in their presence. We hug each other. We say sorry to each other. We touch each other when we're at home a lot, and that is normal. Yes.
Actually, they can learn from you when you hug. They know that somebody that you care about deserves a hug. So it's a way that you train them to be responsible in the future as husband and wife. So, and probably the last kind that I wanted to share with you is the sexual intimacy. That's why we were asking at first that is intimacy, sex intimacy. But then that is another part of it. So, and sexual intimacy is very key. It's more of like the catalyst of everything. And with sexual intimacy, it's like a litmus test that you can use to see whether somebody's marriage is really faring well or not. In a sense that I don't need to ask you how you are doing. I may only ask you how many times you have sex.
Maybe Joy can answer that.
And then I can tell that you are really doing well. Besides, unless there's other issues related to that, maybe you are sick or your partner is welfare, those are exceptional cases. But in cases that you're all there, you're sleeping in the same bed, and if, let's say, you have sex in the last 10, maybe weeks, then it means that there's some work that you need to do. So that is the sexual part. Do you want to add something?
Really? I think you've exhausted that one.
I like the last one because that is what I asked, is intimacy all about sex? So I think some of the married people that are out there, I think like you've understood what intimacy is all about from all those different types. That was really, really great. Thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Muyomba, for elaborating on that. Now, I have a question for you too. Is it that important for people to be intimate in marriage? Like, does it really? Okay, there are people who say, we can live without intimacy in marriage. But is it really important? Like, should I hug? Should I give my wife a peck? Usually, okay, I'm a little bit intimate sometimes, Joy, right? When Joy, say something.
Just, it depends anyway on,
But
on where we are.
of the past have been so intimate, right? Anyway, so like, does it really matter? What do you have to say about that?
Well, we just have to go dive back to the Bible, what the Bible says. We know very well the creation story, and we have our verse there, Genesis 2, verse 24, and the two shall become one. But again, in the first verse of 18, it talks about man before the woman came, and the man was lonely. Okay, so it's not good for a man to be alone, so God said he'll make him a suitable helper. And so there, that is where we are talking about that man or human being is a social creature, and he relates well with people. He doesn't relate well with other things, but he's a social person and relates very well with other individuals. And in this case, if you're married, you're supposed to relate with your partner. You're supposed to be intimate with your partner. You've got to share. You've got to talk about issues. You've got to do things together. So we are social creatures, and we need to be intimate. And if, as a married person, if you're not related or in that way, you're not intimate that much, it means you'll find something else that will be intimate too. Other people get intimate to soccer, others get intimate to any other stuff, or TV or kind of a kind. But the Bible is telling us we are supposed to be intimate to our helpers. That's why my wife is very key in my life. So I can't survive, and God knew it, that I would not survive with the animals and whatever I had created. So he made a social helper for me. And
Sweet.
yeah.
Thank you. Yes, and also to add on, the Bible says in John 15:15 that Jesus referred to us as friends, that we are no longer servants, but friends. And the reason why Jesus referred to us as friends is because he shared everything that he received from the Father, God the Father, with us. He shared even his life with us because he loved us so much. Now, when you get a marriage partner, God expects you to regard them as your friend. And so, in doing that, God expects you to share your everything with this person, and thus become intimate with this person. You do not share with other people your intimacy. Yes, do not share with anyone who is not your marriage partner. We are talking to people who are married. Please don't do it outside marriage.
They've had. I'm very sure.
Yes, we only get this in marriage for sustainability purposes, because it is so sweet. You want it to be there. You want to be comfortable that there's a person I can share my life with forever and ever. That's why God created us as social beings and wished that we would not live alone as a man or a woman, but that when we get a married partner, we share our lives. We enjoy life together as friends, not servants. Marriage
Not like, you
partners.
mean washing machines?
Actually, John 15, the one that she has quoted, brings it very well, where it says, servants. And we've got to put ourselves what a servant is and a master. So when you have a servant, it means you've got a master the other side. But he's talking about a friend. Okay, he's not a servant, but he's a friend. And a friend, what does the friend does? He shares every single detail about. Yeah. So when I married my wife, I didn't marry a washing machine. She's not my servant. Okay, she's my friend.
Slasher.
Yeah.
The washing machine does the washing, and we do other things. We love, we share our lives together. We enjoy, we go through the pains, we come, we lift each other up, and I mean, we live together. Yes, even when he probably goes out of the country or up country for work, he's still very close here. I know he's there, and that makes me feel strong and comfortable because I know and I'm sure that I have someone I share my love and my life with, and no one can take away that.
Let me ask you a question.
Yes.
From that, when someone is out there and is listening, they may think there are no times when you fail to be intimate to each other. Because someone may say, "Oh, that's a perfect cup I'm seeing right there. Everything is okay." You know the kind of feeling I'm saying. Like, just maybe one or two things. Like, are there moments when that intimacy fails?
Yeah, I would say that we are human beings, and we have our nature differently. She's a woman and I'm a man. We are kind of different in a way. God made us different. And in a way, there's always some issues. There are some issues that you've got to overcome. And once there are issues, you've got to be there to solve them. Okay? For example, you can walk with your partner when you've had some conflict. You can hug her. You can go out shopping with her. But again, when it comes to sexual intercourse, it might be a little bit hard. So then that means you've got to work at that as well.
That sexual intercourse part.
So
Everybody
no,
is angry at one another.
So you
Okay.
cannot, because it involves the feeling, it involves all that. So if there are issues, then you've got to sit and settle them. Okay, and then you get back on track.
Yes, and sometimes physically you're not together, even if you wanted. But if you're not in the same place, yes, you cannot really do it. Sometimes you can even be sick. Yes, if you are sick, really, you are sick. And really, the only thing you expect is to receive care and love. Yeah, so some of those moments come and they put the intimacy at a big test. That's where our patience is tested as Christians.
So amazing. Yeah, so Mr. and Mrs. Muyomba, I've heard of so many couples whereby one of the partner is in the country and another one is probably outside of the country or like far away from where the other partner is. So how do you think those two people can keep the intimacy between them without losing it? Like even probably after staying away for so long, for years, because I've seen so many people staying away for like 4-5 years. But then, yeah, so how do you keep the intimacy in between the couple? How do you keep the relationship going?
Okay, I think that is common, but I think we've got to get a starting point, knowing that it is a challenge. Once you realize that it is a challenge having a distant relationship, and then you've got to see how it's going to work out. If it involves, let's say, one partner visiting, coming back, or going the other side, you can arrange that, but you should know that once you leave space, a big space of that kind, temptations are there, and intimacy shouldn't be tested that much. So, yeah, you have to add something.
Yes, that you need to call the person. The person who moves needs to be in frequent contact as much as the person who stays. You have to update each other on the day-to-day affairs of the family. Tell them how you are, how the work is going on, how the children are for the one who has the children. Let the children participate and talk to their father or mother in case it's the mama who is away. And also make it a point to remind each other that you love each other. It affirms, it comforts, and it helps you to remain connected. And whenever you can, whenever you have time to be together, please maximize that time. Let it be a blast. Do everything you missed doing when you were physically apart from. Yes, be creative. Be creative, find time and visit. If you're working out of the country, at least try to visit once a year. Or let the person visit you. Do not take 5 years without coming back home. Go home at least once a year and be there. Let the children know you physically, not online. Yes.
So still on that point, like, it's very, very important. Like, I think our marrieds have had, like, it's really important, like, for them to keep in touch, because there is that tendency of the married people going abroad. They stay there like he takes 3 months, no call, no nothing. And you really wonder, like, what kind of marriage life are you really building? Now, Mr. and Mrs. Probably this is our last question on the show. Intimacy is really wide, but there is a friend of mine, like, they're a couple that have been married for the past 4 years, and however, currently, I was talking to the gentleman, and he told me, you know what, Francis, I've not had sex with my wife for the past 6 months. So that is really tough, because we are married people, and you guys know what I'm talking about. I can go mad and crazy. But, like, what kind of advice would you give to such a couple?
I think, before you get married, Satan uses a trick of putting an urge on somebody to have sex, okay, when they are outside the wedlocks. But again, once you get married, Satan is still at work. Okay, he's getting another way of trying to get over you.
Because he knows the power of sex.
Because
right?
He knows the power of the marriage, he knows the power of sex, and so he will again bring that issue of denial. But again, if you're Christians, we get back to the Bible. What does the Bible say about it? About denial? Okay, it's not good. We very much know that. So once you have that long period of time, you've got to work out, and obviously it comes with lots of issues. There are some reasons as to why you're taking that long. Okay, if it is health-wise, then you've got to find a remedy. But if it's not health-wise, it is a little bit of conflict, then you've got to resolve those issues. Okay, because as we talked earlier, sex involves both physical and emotional. So if physically you're ready, but emotionally your partner or you are not ready, then you can't do it. Then you're supposed to solve the problem. Then you go into that.
Be vulnerable, especially if you're the wife and you feel like you're missing this person. Be vulnerable instead of waiting for him to come and sign on me. I have to take a first step slowly. I take baby steps. You can take baby steps and then talk to him, touch, invest in the physical intimacy, touch, hug. If appropriate for him at that time, you can kiss, you can give a massage. You be vulnerable and take those baby steps to initiate what you want. Don't just sit there and wait for him to come after those 6 months and ask or beg. Because sometimes in the first place you could have denied. And so he got discouraged and he was like, I will never ask you again. So if you feel the pain, please be vulnerable. As Christians, we are supposed to be vulnerable. The Bible says in 1 Corinthians 7, chapters 1 to 4, that we're not supposed to deny each other. So what does that mean? You have to be vulnerable or else you will not fulfill. So be available, but also be vulnerable. Be emotionally available. Try to understand when your partner approaches you. Do not make them feel like they are sinning or they are going to God, so they have to first wash their sins before you accept
Like
their
with
what?
sanitizer.
Don't make them feel like they are supposed to first sanitize the entire body. Emotionally, let them know that you are available to them, you are loving to them, and you have accepted them. That will help. Some couples also have a non-verbal sign. They have a non-verbal sign that they do for the other person to know that today I am willing and I'm available. So you can get something. Some people, for example, like
You have a non-verbal sign.
yes, we have ours. We have ours. And some couples do light a candle in the bedroom. Others, they play on their toes at dinner time. People have different ways of communicating. But as a married partner, you have to find a way of telling your partner that, do you know what? I want something, and it's only you who can give it to me.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Mr. and Mrs. Muyomba. Wow. That has been a blast. You've really unveiled things that are really, really important for us in marriage. Intimacy is a very important thing. And I think now back to our marrieds that are watching us and out there. I think today you've picked a leaf from our talk show. We can't say it all. It is too much for us also to bring it out here at just in a single show and bring out everything. But you've really done a very great job. And we bless God for this opportunity to have you on our show. Thank you for joining us, all our married people that have been watching this show. And we hope and we think that you are going to become better and better and better as you keep on watching our show, You and I. Until next time, I've been Francis Katende with my co-host,
Joy Katende.
Enjoy the day.